shipping changes.
Hey, welcome everybody to the Rockstarflipper YouTube channel. Today's February 26, 2020. Important date because the 2020 Spring Seller Update released today. It's about 6 p.m. when I'm recording this, so you'll probably see this around 8:30. I usually do these typically in the afternoon. They usually come out in the mornings to afternoon time on East Coast, but I had to go to the car dealership today and get some service work done and had to go sourcing. It's Wednesday, so it is later. I apologize for that, but without further ado, let's just jump right on over. I have the seller update here on my iPad available for you guys. So I'm going to screen share this and screen record and pop it right up here on the video, and you guys will be able to see it. There are 6 updates. You can see 2, 4, 6 categories. So we'll go through each one of those. There's nothing humongously major. There are a couple of mini major ones, but let's just jump over there and check out the updates, and you guys will know exactly what you need to know as sellers on eBay for 2020, at least until the fall update. Let's do it, guys. Okay, so here we are on the 2020 Spring Seller Update, and the 6 updated categories are updates to how you list, updates to how you ship, updates to promoteds, update to customer service, updates to financials, and updates to the user agreement, which is pretty standard, just like the legal mumbo jumbo. So let's start. Obviously, number 1 is updates to how you list, new category changes, new item specific features, wonderful, new multi-user account access to see orders, volume pricing for non-store subscribers. Make sure if you're watching this and you have more than 50 listings, you have a store. Photo editing for instant white background, which I've already done a video on, and new Terapeak features in the Seller Hub and Terapeak.com deactivation. So let's go ahead and click on that one first and scroll down. So the new category changes, that's number 1. Starting in May 2020, changes in the following categories, including additions, removals, and renames, will go into effect: business and industrial, watches, home and gardens, and sporting goods. If you listed an item in one of the affected categories, your listing is impacted. eBay will automatically move your listing to the relevant category. You don't need to do anything. If you see any that have been moved, just make sure they didn't make any mistakes on it. As a result of the changes to the category structure, if your listing is moved to a different category, it could result in a difference in fees. Keep that in mind. Some categories are more or less. Always list your items in the best fit. Okay, item specifics required to publish listings. Number 2, continuing to make it easier for buyers to find your listings. Don't know if I believe that, but item specifics describe the item you're selling, such as brand, make, model, size, color, etc. For the past year, we've rolled required item specifics into a number of categories. You will need to add required item specifics to new and revised listings, or you'll not be able to successfully publish them. Find and update missing item specifics in your listings with new features in the Seller Hub. If your listings are missing the required item specifics, you can quickly find and update them with 2 new features in Seller Hub with a quick filter. So they're making it easy to see if any of yours are missing it. You can also view the missing item specific in the task module on your overview page in Seller Hub. A new task in the task module will let you know when you have listings that are missing the required item specifics. So that's the one where it gives you the little red error next to your items. It says like, discount this item to free shipping, or your item needs a condition note, or whatever. It's going to have one of those. So you can use the quick filter, or you can see that inside of the task that you need to do. They give a little picture and example. Again, you can check this out. I'll link it below. All right, the third one is new Terapeak feature. They continue to integrate Terapeak. Terapeak uses recent eBay supply and demand. Since we introduced Terapeak and Seller Hub, we've added more features such as category selector, type ahead component, data visualization, for items sold and at what prices, and data visualization for market share. So those are all ones that they give you. The new features coming are unsold listing indexes and the sell-through rate. So it looks like they're going to add a percentage, aggregate metrics for active listings, and a listing report for active listings. So that's pretty cool as well. Not only do you get to see the solds, you'll see what kind of competition you're up against. So if the solds say that everything sold for like $30 and $40 in the last 90 days, but currently all the active ones are all down around 20, well, you don't want to be listing at 30 or 40 because you're competing and you'll never sell it. So that's good to see the active sometimes as well. New multi-user account access permissions, read-only access to orders. So if you have an employee working or a helper, that's going to be a new feature. And reminder to increase your sales with volume pricing. All eBay sellers, including eBay store subscribers and non-subscribers, can now use the advanced listing tool to incentivize buyers to purchase 2 or more identical items at once with volume pricing. So in other words, buy 3, get 10% off or whatever it is. And then the remove backgrounds from your items, photos instantly, which I just showed you. And it's available on iOS or Android. So it says when you upload or select photos for your listings, you can now tap on the background removal feature to automatically add a white background. Access the feature in eBay mobile app on iOS or Android, which I didn't know the Android was available yet. So those of you on Android, please check it out. I still recommend Photo Room. I like it better. But for you Android users, that might be the only option. So that is the first page. That is our seller update category number 1 for updates to how you list. Let's go back. And we're going to go to seller updates for how you ship. So this is number 2. And it says 3 updates: ship internationally with the eBay International Standard Delivery, a FedEx home delivery rate reduction, and new notification of missing item location zip codes, which is weird. I'll have to see what number 3 is in a second. All right, so send packages to international buyers with eBay International Standard Delivery. Our new international shipping service is available to all U.S. sellers using eBay labels. eBay International Standard Delivery ships to over 210 countries and territories around the globe and is an economical alternative to other international shipping services. In other words, this may be a competitive option against global shipping program. The eBay International Standard Delivery improves many aspects of common international shipping experiences, including simplified pricing, reliable tracking visibility, USPS pickup and drop-off, shipping protection for lost and damaged, and seller protection for feedback and seller standards. So when you scroll down, it compares eBay International Standard Delivery, global shipping, and USPS. So customs and duties, the delivery duty unpaid. Global shipping program, the delivery duty is paid, and USPS, the delivery duty is unpaid. The customs and duty taxes are paid by the buyer, all 3 across. Shipments processed through a domestic consolidation center, so that's the same on eBay International and global shipping. So is the customs e-form, the seller protection, feedback protection, customer service, and then the country served, eBay International Standard Delivery is handling 213 countries versus 104. Now, I would caution you on eBay Standard Delivery, if they're delivering to these countries that are unsafe, you may want to exclude them if it allows you. I haven't looked into it yet, but I will. Countries that are notorious for packages disappearing. There's about 10 that come to mind right off the top of my head. So Russia and Ukraine typically are pretty bad. I know some people ship there, but generally they don't have a good track record. South American countries, the drug countries, Colombia, Venezuela, Ecuador, countries in that North Central America, South America and Central America, South Central and North South America are like the worst. Brazil, Bolivia, their customs are really, really, really corrupt. So there's about 6 or 7 countries down there. So, Venezuela, Ecuador, Bolivia, Peru, Brazil, probably those 5 or 6 countries are probably the worst down there. And then the other ones that come to mind are the obvious African countries, Nigeria, Niger, any of those countries on the west coast of Africa and pretty much all over Africa. Libya is really bad if we're even allowed to ship there. So any of those countries you want to be careful with. Canada, Mexico, typically good. Any of the Asian countries, I mean, notwithstanding what's going on in the world right now, but Japan, South Korea, China's iffy, but South Korea and Japan typically good. Australia's usually really good. European countries are almost always good. England, France, Spain's never been a problem. Portugal's good. Ireland never had a problem. Germany, Poland, Switzerland, they're all usually pretty good. Greece is decent. So all those should be good. And then anywhere else, out in Hawaii and Alaska as domestic, people don't like to ship there, but they're good. Anything out there that's international, like I've shipped to Fiji, to Bora Bora, Polynesia, shipped to Singapore, shipped to Philippines, they're all usually pretty good as well. So any of those things out there past Hawaii are decent. Okay, FedEx 2-day rate reduction. Delivery is a nationwide flat rate service that provides reliable, cost-effective alternative. Their new pricing is lower than 2019, so you'll see that. And finally, we'll let you know when your listings are missing item location zip codes. Item location zip codes play a critical role in search visibility and sales conversion. They're used in location filters to help buyers understand where the inventory is located. So those buyers that choose zip code and then search like within 50 miles or 100 miles, which I tend to do actually, because if I can find something close, I'd rather get it faster. So zip codes also provide accurate delivery dates. So we know how you look at something, it shows like 10 days to get delivered and it's only one state over. It's always kind of weird. If your listings are missing item location zip codes, you'll be notified to edit them. I don't know how your listing could possibly be missing its location zip code, because your location zip code is like your profile. It's built into your eBay. It doesn't make any sense. If you mistakenly dismiss the notification 3 times, you can return to the zip code page by clicking on item location zip code link on the left and adding it. Again, this doesn't make any sense to me. Can somebody explain to me how your listing would ever be missing the zip code when it's your profile? Your eBay shipping from address is there. So I don't really understand that. Let's go on to the third one, which is how you promote. Okay, how you promote. New offers to buyers enhancements. This is the one that they're really pushing, and I like this. The new offer to buyer feature in Seller Hub enables you to initiate a negotiation process with buyers who show interest in items but haven't yet completed their transaction. A counteroffer option lets you and the buyer negotiate an offer by exchanging up to 5 offers counteroffers. Around 30% more watchers turn into buyers when they receive an offer. Last fall, we announced that you could reach up to 10 buyers with an offer. Now you can reach up to 40. There's a little asterisk, which I'll figure out what that is in a second. Currently, the lowest discount you can offer your potential buyers is 5%. We're reducing the minimum discount for items over 200 to a variable amount, and you can see that amount. Allow counter offers on your mobile device, which a lot of you asked me about. You can do that now. Previously, the feature was only available through Seller Hub on desktop. You'll also be able to quickly filter for listings that are eligible for offers. You should be able to do that in Seller Hub as it is. I show you a lot of that on my store reviews and coaching calls that I do. The date surveyed June through December 2019. So that's basically where they upped it from reaching 10 people to 40 people, and that 30% more watchers turn into buyers. So that is the third one of 6. So number 4 is upgrades to how you handle customer service. Manage common selling issues, updates to handling returns, and new protections against buyers you previously blocked. If you blocked them, how did they become a buyer? Let's find out. The common selling issues in one convenient center. With Seller Help, you can manage refunds, returns, items not as described, submit requests to eBay for review feedback, defects for removal, see your recent policy notifications, anything that went wrong, and report buyers who abuse eBay policies. That's all in one section now, so that's pretty cool. They have a whole layout. You can see it. Again, I'll link this so you can click on it yourself. Let's scroll down to seller protection changes for item not received claims filed through eBay Money Back. In order to protect you from item not received claims filed through the eBay Money Back guarantee starting June 1st, we'll require to use shipping carriers that are integrated with eBay and provide regular shipment scans. I thought that was already required. In addition, we may decide a case in a buyer's favor without requiring the buyer to contact eBay if tracking proves shipment of the item was not provided by the seller within 3 business days after an item not received case was opened. So in other words, if they don't get an item, they open an item not received, and you haven't updated tracking within 3 days, then they'll automatically be refunded. We recommend you upload tracking to eBay within your stated handling time. None of this should affect any of you. That doesn't mean you get 3 days to update it. Like, you could have 5-day handling time. It means if they open a case, you have 3 days to at least put the tracking in. It doesn't even have to arrive. It just has to be updated. That way, buyers are less likely to open those cases. Changing to handling return requests that appear abandoned. Starting April 1st, we will no longer close returns early at the request of a seller when the buyer has not shipped the item back. Instead, we will wait to ensure buyers have sufficient time to provide proof items they requested to return were shipped back. If we do not receive proof of shipment from your buyers while the return requests are active, we will protect you by removing any negative or neutral feedback. That sounds to me like they're cutting out that 5-day close case. So previously, If a buyer opened a case and they didn't ship the item back in 5 days, you could call and have it closed. Sounds like they're going to stop that and give the buyers longer to ship back. That sucks. Changes to handling item not as described return request. So it requires sellers to respond within 3 business days when buyers request to return items that don't match their description. When you don't respond, they, of course, refund the buyer. Starting June 1st, we may decide these cases after the 3 business days elapsed without requiring the buyer to contact eBay. This is just basically saying you need to respond to cases. So, item not as described for international sellers. When you do not provide a U.S. return address and your buyer requests to return an item that doesn't match the listing, you need to accept the return and provide the means to return the item within 3 days. Otherwise, we can refund the buyer. So you need to do that as well for international buyers. New protections against buyers you previously blocked. You can now cancel a transaction from a buyer you previously blocked if they purchase another item from you and will also protect you. How are they buying another item if you block them? Does eBay read what they write? Somebody want to explain this to me? A very small percentage of buyers aren't good trading partners. When this happens, you can block a buyer so they can't purchase from you again. If they try to purchase from you again, we have your back. So you can block them and they're not allowed to purchase from you. But if they do purchase from you, eBay literally, who writes this stuff? Like, somebody tag eBay on this, literally, seriously. When you identify a buyer who shares the same name or shipping address with a previously blocked account or is engaged in the same abusive behavior, you can cancel the transaction. That makes sense. The first paragraph does not. So in other words, if you see somebody that has the same name or address using a different account, that would be violation of eBay. The problem is, how are you going to remember that if you do it in January and 3 months later they do it to you? There's no way. No way. All right, number 5. We got 2 more. Number 5 is... what was number 5? Okay, updates to how you manage financials. Payments overview. New feature with eBay manages your payments and continued global expansion. It just talks about 1099s. You can now download your Form 1099K directly from the Seller Hub. Scheduled payouts. With a new weekly deposit option, you can choose to configure your payouts to deposit weekly to your bank account or continue with daily deposits. We consistently initiate payouts to the bank account on file within 2 business days. Global shipping program. Sellers for whom eBay manages payments will be able to ship internationally with our global shipping program. Finally. So one of the big negatives is being updated. I don't know when that says it starts. It doesn't. New ways to pay for shipping labels. For domestic orders, you can continue to pay for your shipping labels using your PayPal account. Or for sellers whom eBay manages payments, you'll be able to deduct shipping label costs from pending payouts. This feature will become available in early spring. Perfect. So another great way, you don't have to front the money for shipping anymore. It can ship right out of your balance from your managed payments. There you go. That's how Amazon does it. That's how everybody else does it. Okay, managed payments continues to expand to additional markets. Last fall, they introduced these managed payment features with finance APIs and enhanced payouts and transaction reports. They're managing payments in the US and Germany, and will manage payments for most sellers in 2020. We'll continue to roll out the experience to more markets in the near future. Eventually, all sellers will be required to have eBay manage their payments. As of January 2020, we've enabled over $2 billion of GMV and almost 25,000 sellers. 25,000 sellers doesn't sound like a whole lot. $2 billion only sounds like a lot because they probably plucked some of the biggest sellers. So you're going to be required to join in phases this year, and we're ready to support the features you use on eBay. There you go. Global shipping is in, so that's good. You'll be able to join in a few simple steps when you get the message or the email from eBay by verifying your identity and business, agreeing to the payment terms of use, and adding a checking account so you can get paid. Once enabled, your existing feedback profile, existing listings will all be automatically updated. And then they give a little review of what managed payment is. Can I use PayPal working capital? We want to make sure that your transition to eBay managed payments is as smooth as possible. If you have an existing business loan, including PayPal working capital loans, you can still enable managed payments with eBay. Reach out to PayPal to discuss your options. Many additional options for working capital loans and business financing solutions are available to manage. So you'll have to manually pay back any PayPal working capital that you have, and then eBay is offering it through Stripe, I think, or Square, that they're going to offer loans. Okay, the last one is just the update to your user agreement. And this is all the legal mumbo jumbo. I'm not going to read 57 pages of 100 disclaimers, but you can read those if you want. Otherwise, that is the seller update. So what do I take from it? 3 big updates that really matter. So global shipping for managed payment. and the fact that managed payment is going to roll out for everyone this year. So they say again. The second one, really, let's go back to the main page here. Let me pull it up. So really the second one also, the white background, which we talked about, I don't think it's great for a lot of people, but I liked Photo Room better still. So that was really out of the first one. Terapeak with some new features is minor, some category changes. They always do that. The other one would be the international service through eBay. I still like global shipping program. I'll look into the international program with eBay and standard delivery. I'll check the prices. I'm sure it's cheaper for the buyers, so it might turn into more sales. So that would be good. And then the offers to more buyers, that's really important as well. So those are the big ones. Otherwise, I don't see a lot of other stuff to be too worried about. Nothing that you have to panic about, or everyone, always says bend over. But I think this is a pretty standard update for them. Couple cool little things, nothing major. And with that said, I'll leave you guys to read it. I'll link it below. And if you have any questions, please ask in the comment section. Comment any concerns or thoughts that you have. I'll read through them and respond to as many as possible. And as always, thanks for listening and hope you have a wonderful night. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And tomorrow night is eBay Open up front, so no live show. I'll be happy and excited to meet everyone in Tampa that's going to be there. And we'll get some video and I'll post it up on Friday for everyone. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.